What's up, my Flatland rider buddies? I am Jean-William Prévost. My friends call me Dub. I run Iggy Flat BMX, IGI BMX. Iggy, I got it. Yeah, baby. You know what it is. I'm out here. Outside is curfew time. Don't step outside. Get your ass whooped by the cops. So we have a special guest today. I thought of bringing him on, it's my boy. He is one of the flowest front wheel riders all the way from South America. I won't extend the intro. Give it up. Benjamin Hudson.
Man.
What's
up? Man.
What's
Yo, what's good,
what's
bro?
up? What's up?
How you been, bro?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, it's been okay, man. Lately, it's been okay. Some days of freedom here, so finally, man.
Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've been hearing some crazy stuff about what's going on down there. Sometimes I'm not sure if what the media relates is actually the truth. We get confused by both sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, regular lockdown since 2019. And yeah, just that, man. I mean, whenever they want to change like laws or whatever, we can go out or not, but right now we can go out. So man, today was a day like full of BMX from the morning until now that I'm doing the podcast. It was full of BMX.
Nice. Like when you're buzzing, like you've been in the sun all day and like you can barely sleep because you're like totally insulated type of day, right?
It was cloudy, so it's good. It's getting chilly, man. Here it's like it's kind of cold now.
What, it's chilly in Chile, man? Oh shit.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's not like Canada winter, but it's just cold, man. So, man. So, man. The long-awaited then episode, bro.
Yo.
What are we going to talk about?
Number 6, we talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I was wondering exactly, like, what's the actual situation, like, right now in Chile? Like, what can you do, what you can't do, like, compared to here, so I can get a good idea of, like, and people can know what you've been through, like, since the beginning of all of this,
So, at the beginning, we just got locked down, like, straight 5 months or something like that. Some crazy amount of time. It was like 5 months, I think.
Because you guys were having, like, protests, right?
I mean, it started like 2019 in October, around October. Yeah, it was October. It was the 12th, or there's a date where like just the city exploded, man. Like everybody was just sick of it because they raised the ticket from the subway, plus like so many other things that had been going on through the years, and people were just sick of it, and they were like, yo, man, have you seen the Joker movie?
Yeah, but you mean like they raised the price ticket to take the bus, right? So like by a lot, I guess.
It was just that, but that was just like the one thing that made everyone just like, man, enough, and like enough. So everybody just went protest on the street, and it was mayhem, man. Like I remember. It was just crazy, man. Like fire and fighting, and then just people really took control of the city, man, for a long time. And after that, it was just like curfew, straight curfew, man. Like 1 in the morning, it was back then, or 2 in the morning. And yeah, like business were closed, and like the city was paralyzed. And yeah, man, since then, I think after that we went to Japan, like January, February. It was February or January?
Yeah, I think it was like late January, something like that.
Yeah, and after that I just came back home, and it was like 1 week and then lockdown. It was like lockdown until September or something crazy, man.
It's like they basically like went from like the protest lockdowns right into COVID lockdowns. Like you guys already been living through that since Octobiker Fest, man. Since all the way back there. That's crazy. At least we got like 2 or 3 months of free life until they locked us up, man. Yo, that was good times, man. When I look back on like the old world, I think about those times like like that contest for me was like
Just been chilling, man, like in the street, you know, that feeling when like session is over and you're just there on the spot, like lying on the floor and just eating something.
yeah.
That's the best, man. That's just the best. Like,
Yeah, that brings me back to like when I first met you, man. Like I was doing a lot of that in Chile and just like working at the red lights and making money. But before I go there, so like let's start like at the beginning, you know, like I'm sure there's people that are gonna like watch this that are gonna wonder like how did Ben get into BMX, bro? Like that's what I would be wondering. That's before I ask you how you got into modeling because I know you're at that point now. But how did you get into BMX?
BMX, man. Damn. Yo, like, I don't know, man. It was just, I always liked bikes, like with my dad. I always went to like the hills and everything, right? Like mountain bike. And then when I was a teenager, it was just like I didn't have the time to go to the mountains or a car. So my friends were just skating and I was like, I don't like skateboards, man. I don't like skateboard at all. So I was like, yo, I'm riding bikes, but on the street, and that's BMX, you know? It fit perfectly with what I wanted. So at that point, it was just BMX for me. And I guess I just started doing tricks on the flat floor. And after 1 year, I discovered it's like, yo, man, this is called Flatland. And after that, I spent like 2 years riding Flatland, and I thought I was the only rider in Chile, the only one. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And then one day I realized that there's this guy riding on another place, and my friend took me there, and I met this guy, and I'm like, yo, this guy is riding Flatland in Chile, man. And I talked to him, and he was like, man, we got a big scene in here. It's just that at the moment that I got into Flatland, like the scene, it was super, super strong like 3 years ago. And just by the time that I got in, like everything went down. Like many riders like left their sponsors, or like the events were just like everything dissolved for some reason on like 2008, something like that.
So for example, how many riders were riding back then compared to like now? Because I know I know personally the Chilean scene is sick. Like there's still a lot of riders, and I had a lot of fun there. But like in numbers, approximately, what would you say there is like before and now?
I guess at the peak of Flatland in Chile, if you gathered everyone together, you know, because Chile is super long, man. So like most of us are in Santiago, which is the middle, the capital city. But if you gather them together, I would say like maybe 90, 100 riders.
Now
like,
you mean like now?
Bro, no. Back in the day, like
yeah.
when it was like the boom. But right now, if you take like even the riders that are not like riding seriously every day or whatever, just that they have a Flatland bike, I guess you could get like 40 riders. Yeah, 40 riders sounds like
guys with bikes.
But it's hard, man. It's hard to keep up with Flatland in Chile because the lifestyle is different, man. It's not like Europe or any other country where it's like 5 o'clock and you can go out or I don't know, man. Here, like you really gotta hustle to make a living just to pay rent. People get like, man, it's crazy how much you have to spend to live alone here, man. I'm talking about like, it's like, man, I don't know, probably like 2,000 US, and then you can live with 1,000, but still making that money in here is like, yo, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot.
Well, especially if you're talking about like making that money from riding BMX, because that's the whole point.
No way.
And that's the hardest thing. Like, can you actually make a living from riding Flatland in Chile?
I mean, not really. It's not Flatland. Flatland is not the thing that is gonna make you get like money or anything. That's why at one point I'm like, yo, man, I can't keep traveling and competing because this is making no sense, you know, financially. It was like, it's making no sense. So I decided to just take another way and approach Flatland as maybe as you know Nigel Sylvester,
Mm-hmm.
the street rider.
More like a lifestyle than like a competitive sport. You mean kind of thing?
Yeah, so in that way you can still like make TV commercials or like work with brands, not as like a sponsor writer, but just it's like this one job with the brand, and you make it, and then it's done,
Mm-hmm.
and you get paid. So, but man, it's hard. It's hard. Like I'm working it out. I'm doing like many different things, man. Now, like I'm doing so many different things.
Oh, yeah, jack of all trades, but I remember a good way to make about $30 an hour, man, in South America. But
No,
but that's some real hustling, though, right? I mean,
no,
I think I don't know about now with like maybe people are like kind of scared at the red light when you come up to them and you do some tricks and stuff, but
it's
it was decent money for the age that I had. Like what was like 23. It kind of gave me a certain freedom, and I was able to like buy a plane ticket within like 2 weeks. I remember, but to actually go in
23.
when I went, yeah.
What?
How old are you now, man? How old are you now?
Oh man, yo, life is going too fast.
11 years ago, man. You were 14, so when I first met you, the first time I met you was in 2009 or 10. I forget
10.
exactly. 10?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I was 23, and you were like 14, I think, and you were doing like steamroller and like time machines, and that was like the first year that I saw you, and I really thought not much of like your writing. Like you were like really just beginning, I think, at that year.
Yeah.
Like and obviously already doing time machines because that was like the basic tricks even now of like this era. But then I came back the next year, and this guy was doing all this cross-footed stuff, and I was kind of blown away in like the progression that you had in like a whole year. So like what happened within that time span? Like what made you progress so fast? Would you say that it has to do with having a spot at home, or like it's just the crowd that you were surrounded with, or how did you progress that fast?
Yeah, I mean definitely the spot at home made a difference on like the quality of writing, because for the longest time I was writing parking lots, and the security will come and kick me out, or the cars will park where I'm writing, and it's just annoying, man. You want to write, you want to progress, you want to do this new trick for you that it's hard, and you're wasting your time on like things that are secondary. So at that time, man, I don't know, man. I remember writing so much, man, so much. Like, I remember just every weekend I woke up at like, that energy you have when you're young, and you wake up at 8 in the morning and you're like, yo, I'm good to go. And then I just woke up and, man, the spot. All the weekend the spot, man, like going for it. If it was vacations, I would just spend like the 2 weeks of vacation like in my house writing. And I was like mental about it. So I think what I got there, it was like a good solid base of Flatland, like the balance trick, like this basic tricks that when I wanted to do a new original kind of move or something like that, I would already have this pack of tricks,
Mm-hmm. But
So
I mean like motivation wise and like influence wise, like the scene already had guys like that I can remember off the top of my head, like that are older generation, like Uli and Pepon and Leo, and then even like the newer generation, which was like Carlos, Delirious, Pelayo, and all those guys. And there's like still all kinds of people doing all kinds of tricks, even like Osama and Chalao. Like just thinking about them now, it's like there's all types of tricks. But do you think that they had an influence on you being able to push it? Like the fact that all this kind of trick vocabulary was around you, like for learning, was that helping you?
I mean, they definitely make it. They made it like they made a nice environment for Flatland, you know, because for example, like I got my motivation from the videos, man. I was always like comparing myself with the top riders at the moment. That I thought that, you know, like I was watching like you or like Dom or
Oh, but I was far from a top rider at that time. At that time, they were already competing at the highest level. Like I was not even close.
No, but I was watching you like when you released the spring edit.
Yeah.
You know that one? Yeah, that one was like, yo, this guy, man. Yo, this guy.
The spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning, yeah. But so I was always comparing myself to those top riders, man. I was like, yo, this is the level. You know? I was never looking in my country what's the level here, but what it made it really good for me, it was like when they made the jams, like the jam sessions in La Florida or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were super supportive with me, man. They were always telling me good things, like really good vibe. They were like, yo, Ben, like you're killing it. Don't drink, don't smoke, man. You're going on the good way. Like you don't need this now. And they were like really, yeah, man. Like they gave me like this good support, you know. Like when you do your tricks that are so hard for you, that you work for it, and then you show it to them, they were like, yo, man, you're killing it. Like, you got it, man. You got it. You can do it. Like, that kind of motivation.
I have to agree, man, because, like, the times that I spent over there, I thought, like, the Chilean scene was definitely one of the most supportive, like, kind of, like, vibe and atmosphere. I wouldn't say the guys are, like, the hardest riders because they spend a lot of time just having fun and, like, barbecuing and everything. But that's also what's nice in Flatland culture is to be able to share like that. I can imagine other countries such as like Brazil must be insane too like that, and like I guess Argentina as well, but maybe less people, right?
Argentina, yeah. I mean, it depends, man. Like Flatland back in the days, it was really big in Latin America. Like it was super big. It was just like underground, you know. It was like the VHS like magazine. Type of.
Yeah, I was thinking like you came in the era where YouTube was already like people were already posting their own videos on YouTube when you were starting, right?
Yeah.
Like I started after VHS. Like VHS just kind of finished and then like I could like the internet was already there, so the internet was around in my house for at least 3 years I think when I started writing, or 4 years max. And it wasn't like people posting their own videos. Like the internet was super slow. You could go on like bmxtricks.com and watch like one trick at a time, and it was like kind of like not even MySpace yet, not even yet. But yeah, so that's the difference that you were exposed to YouTube already, and I guess. And then now it's changing. It's like kids are exposed to like Instagram, and now it's like a whole other level.
Yeah, it's instant, man. It's different vibe though. It's like a different vibe. It kind of it plays with my mind like that thing, because everyone wants like new tricks very fast, and you gotta like keep posting, you know.
Well, and now I'm getting the feeling that it's going towards a place where it doesn't really even matter what you're posting. It's more about posting and having something clean, well filmed, matching shoes and shirt. And sometimes that just kind of drives me nuts, because it's like, is this what it's about? But it's not like there's one single person deciding how to drive the sport or choosing the direction for it. But it seems like technology like YouTube and VHS and bmxtricks.com and now Instagram, and next thing is TikTok. And I see Flatland on TikTok now, and it's turning into this utter atmosphere entirely where it's like, man, you don't even need to land the trick at that point, you know?
I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have it. I saw it, man. Don't play me.
No, I deleted.
You deleted it?
Yeah, like a long time ago.
I was just about to tag you, but on this like a little dance, like.
Yeah, I'm done.
But it's definitely changing. So yeah, this reminds me of something I saw you post in a story somewhere where you said, like, I think it was in Spanish too. It wasn't really directed towards the international community. It was something like you said, like, I didn't ride, like, I haven't been riding fucking hardcore for like, how long have you been riding for? 13 years?
Now it's like 13, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been riding hardcore for like 13 years just to become an influencer. You know, I read that and I thought, man, like, you know what? Like, that really, you're my friend, obviously, it connected with me, but like,
Yeah.
it spoke to me in many ways because, like, I see it out there, and I think a lot of people have like fame as a goal or becoming an online phenomenon. And it's like, I understand that aspect of it, but like, what did you mean by that?
I mean, it's not intending to disrespect anybody else, you know. It's just like my point of view. When I say influencer, man, I just mean like, I don't know. It's this weird concept, man. It's brands using that concept that makes me crazy, man. It's like, don't call me influencer, man. Like you can call me.
It's like the word that you don't like.
It's like, yeah, it's like you can call me like a sportsman, you can call me like a dancer if you want, you can call me like whatever, man, but influencer, it's like, I know people that they have like millions of followers and then you ask them like, yo, what do you do? It's like, I'm an influencer. It's like, okay, but what do you do? You know, I influence people, and it's like,
I think
man.
that's a conversation we have with Taku actually, where like,
I was thinking about that, man. I think about that conversation all the time, man. All the time. I remember because it was one of like the best lessons that I got from Taku, man. It was like, remember we were at that lake and we were just chilling, and I'm like, yo, man, like, talking about like world tour and whatever. I was like, man, like, we gotta do something, but we gotta like inspire people or whatever. It's like, man, it gotta be epic. And then Taku is just like, yo, man, you don't have to do it. Like, you don't have to inspire people, man. Like, it just comes naturally, man. If you're naturally doing
mm-hmm,
your thing, it will inspire by itself, you know.
by
So it's
being
like,
yourself.
yeah, and I was like, yo, man, you're right, you know. And then like my mind was like, it switched. It was good, man. I remember.
That was a good trip, man, because that trip was like, I just felt like a lot of people that went to Japan. I don't want to generalize, but I feel like a lot of people go to Japan and they just want to go to the touristy areas, like go and feed the deer and I don't even know what the touristy areas like going shopping or like we did that too, but that trip was like, man, let's just look at the map and like find the randomest village and just go there and remember we just chose some random place and we basically just ended up having the best time.
We went to this like the megalithic, remember? I'm like,
Yeah, that's the Iwafune, man. Iwafune Rock. I don't forget that one. I really wanted to go there, that one.
yeah,
But I meant the time that we stayed at the geisha house, I think it was, right?
I remember. Yeah, I remember. It was nice, man. It was just like real Japan. That's it.
Yeah. And man, it's a lot of things to go through, man, because actually there's so many stories that are from the times that we have spent together, right?
So you realize, man, we've been traveling the world since like 2014. 14 up to like 19. That's 5 years, man. It's a lot. Like the whole time, man. Like I think I saw you more than like riders in Chile, man.
I was already traveling a lot since 2007 at that point. So like,
Yeah.
it lasted a while. Like when I first met you, I'd been traveling for at least like 3 years already, 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and just kind of like going with it and following whatever was coming to me, especially like the China stuff, you know. So that's I think that's also how you got to be able to like live from Flatland in the first place, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the gate. That was like the man. Like I look at it as the opportunity, man. It's like that's your opportunity to make it, or because that opportunity was given to many riders.
Yeah, I was thinking about that just now.
It's up to you, man. Like, what do you want to do with that? In my case, it was like I wrote, yo man, like 2014 and 15, I think it was the year that I progressed the most, man. Like I was just like tricks after tricks and pulling and like really going for it, just writing every single day, man. I wrote every single day.
That was the years you went to China, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
exactly.
because like a lot of guys went to. I brought a lot of people to China myself, and then there was people before me, and then there was other team managers, but like I think that out of all the riders that were doing the shows in Beijing, including me, you were the most relaxed. Like,
I mean, for the show, man, you're just like,
because it's tense. It's tense. I mean, if you're a nervous type, right, which you're not, I guess. Like when you got 1,000 people watching you, man, it's something else, you know. I remember sitting there, like in the beginning of your contract, the first contract, and you were dialed, man. And I thought that was super cool, because I was there when Carlos did his first shows. I was there when Tyler did his first shows. I was there when Juan did his first shows, bro. Juan was shaking, man. It was crazy. I was shaking too when I first did them. Like I had a hard time finishing like a show, man. But
no, but because by the time that I went to China, I already made like many shows before in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing shows before, like. Yo, man, I hope like those kind of things come back. They were really good for the
soul.
Yeah, I mean for everything, man. It was a good way to make it, and then to show Flatland in a nice way.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
But China, man. Yo, so like.
You're still sober, man?
Yeah, man. Sober as hell, dude. A year and a half. But it's not like I was no crack junkie or nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm talking sober, like coffee sober, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't drink coffee, man. That's
not
crazy.
even, man. Just cookies, bro. Once in a while.
Well, that's crazy.
Yo, I asked this question to Jason. What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you in China?
Oh yeah, I remember this one. China, man.
Cause you spent like what? You spent like.
It was 2 contracts, so it was like a year.
In total, like a whole year, right?
Split in 2. Damn, yo, man. China was a movie, man. That was a movie, man. Like for real. I guess one crazy thing that it will happen. Well, when I split my head, actually. Like getting into the spot, like I jumped the gate and I cut my head open, man. It was open and I just woke up and like it was Joel. Joel was there.
Uh-huh.
And it's all on tape, actually. It's on a video, man. It's on a video. And after that I woke up and I'm like, yo, what happened? And I just went to the emergency room in China. And yo, that was an experience, man. And they put stitches on my head, like with no anesthesia or nothing, and I was just like, yeah. And yo, man, before that, I went to the Brazilian. Remember, it was like this Brazilian. How do you call it? Dress room? Dress?
Yeah, dress room, yeah.
Yeah, so they took me there, like Haha took me there, or Lydia, I think it was, and I just made a big mess. Like it was blood everywhere, man. Everything with blood. And then, well, back then I had this girlfriend and they were like, yo, man, Ben he fell and like he's in the hospital, and everybody thought that I was dying, man. And then I just came back with like the stitches, like, yo, it's good, man. Like, yo, I can't believe it.
No, and because like it's a whole other sphere of existence over there in Asia. As much as I could try to explain to people and tell them like that place is this and that, like a lot of people have traveled there as well, but like the majority of people have no idea what China is about. And you really have to see it to believe it and get a feeling and a sense of what the world is heading into, because the future is over there and it's coming here. The same way they have these QR codes that are coming for every single aspect of our life that's been there already running for like 5, 6, 7 years for payments with WeChat and all that. all that stuff is coming here in the form of like payments for your phone, health passports, vaccine passports, and you're like, I'm looking at this come through, and I'm like, at every step of the way, I'm like, bro, that's been in China for like 5 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, like I don't know, man. I really don't know, but like it or not, that's the world. Like they're the majority now, man. They have the control of everything, and I hope that they just like we can adapt, man, and make a good how do you call it? Like because the culture is so different, man. It's
a shock. It's a shock to go there.
It's so different, bro. Like I guess traveling, man, all of these years has been good for like having an open mind with different cultures, and it makes it really easy. But for somebody that it's been his whole life like raised in a certain way or whatever, and then having to deal with things like this, I guess that's gonna be interesting, man, for the future. It's gonna be really interesting.
Well,
man.
I tell people, man, like I live where I've been living my whole life, and like there was no Chinese on my street when I was a kid, and now it's like 50 or 60% of the street. You know, so let's say I left for 5 years and came back, I would be like, what's going on? You know, like it entirely changed, and it's me. I can speak with them and everything, and it's cool. But I can imagine others who cannot even relate or communicate because a lot of them don't speak English or French. It must be a bit of a shock to see how fast the world is changing around them.
Yeah. I mean, it's happening.
I'm starting to see like Chinese signs here and there too in Montreal, and it's like it's definitely changing. But I like the food, man. They can keep bringing that on, but they have to open the restaurants. Open the restaurants.
Man, how you like that?
Open the restaurants, man.
Oh my god, man.
Yo, I don't want no takeover, man. I want to go chin chin in a restaurant with my friends, you know?
No, for me, Japanese, man. I can do Japanese all day, every day, man.
Okay, so yeah, man. If right now you could go somewhere, like you had one place that you could travel to, which would it be? Like out of not only the places that you've seen, but out of the places that you would like to go to, where would you like okay, I'll give me two. Give me like out of where you've been already, where you would like to go, and out of where you haven't been, where would you like to go?
Well, definitely Puerto Leguizamo, man. That's one place for sure.
Colombia.
Always, man. A place that I haven't been. Well, I don't know right now, man, because right now it might be crazy with like what's happening, but I would love to go to Africa, man. Right with Anamdeco.
Yeah, how about it, man?
But I don't really know what's happening, man. Actually, we should call him one day and see what's up, because it's been a long time since the last time we speak.
Yeah, and he hasn't been posting at all either. I mean, every time that I talk to him, it doesn't look easy at all.
Yeah, he's hustling, man. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Japan as well, right? Japan as well.
Yeah.
Me, that's one place I'd love to be able to travel to, like, as soon as possible. Go check out Taku and hang out a bit. But
man. Yo, he told me that they made a 6 spot. Like, he's got a good spot now, man. Yo, we should go.
I'm down. But yo, since you're talking about Puerto Leguizamo, so like we had a good experience there where we visited like a shaman and his family and spent 10 days in the jungle and took
10 days?
Yeah, and took ayahuasca in the context that it's supposed to be taken in the indigenous way, I guess I would say. And I took it, you took it, Juan took it, and we took it 3 times together. I know what it did to me, and I feel like it has affected you, but like, what would you say your life? Would you say your life there's like a before ayahuasca and then there's an after ayahuasca? And would you say that it has changed you in a good way or a bad way or both?
Yeah, I mean, it was super intense, man. I would say definitely Yeah, definitely there's a before and after. It's just that not necessarily every day I'm thinking about it, but for sure I guess the biggest lesson I got from that, it was just to let go.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to let go yourself, just like, oh man, if I gotta die today, what's the problem with that? So what is it's coming, it's happening one time, so why do you resist? Like, what is attaching you to earth, So that kind of things like made me solve many issues and problems that I had, maybe, like with people that I had to talk, I talked to them, and I kind of solved everything. So I felt in peace, and yeah, man, in really hard times, spiritually talking about, I always come back to like the jungle and that experience, and it lifts me up, and it's just like, it's good, man. It was a good, I don't know if you call it like faith test or whatever, but it was just like, it showed me things that I would never be able to look at them by myself. So yeah, man, definitely a before and after, and just, yeah, maybe not in like my real life, like my everyday life, like I don't wake up thinking about it, but in the hard times, it's there, man.
Oofa.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times in competitions, after I found myself going back to like kind of even saying a little, like asking a little bit from the shaman to help me out, and like, because they always talk about like the ancestors and the grandfathers, and they always ask for their permission and their respect from them, and I often went back to that, and it's not really what is understood by most as the truth that matters the most. Is whatever belief you think is the best for you, that will affect your life. And belief is a choice somehow, so if you choose to believe, it becomes very powerful. Me, it changed my life, and it fades away though as time goes by, and you kind of want to go back and pass lift the veil again and look behind the curtain and see what's going on on that side of reality.
Well, you got DMT, man. That's a easy way to do it safely in a city environment, but I guess the most important thing is to have like the guide of the shaman. Guidance, If Franklin wasn't there, man, like you can get lost, But
I feel like it has influenced you in other ways, like that video that you made. That video was cool, man. What was it called?
the Flat Dimension.
Flat Dimensions, where you're riding in the forest and then you see the energy running on the trees and
yeah, that was a cool project, man. That was a nice project, and yeah, actually, I'm working on something like that. Not exactly that video, but the concept should be out soon. You would see, man.
Soon-ish.
Soon. Yeah. I like that video, man. It's cool, man. Because it was like the drawings and everything. And I did those drawings on the time that we were there in the jungle, actually. I don't know about you, man, but I have like I have notes. I wrote everything down, and sometimes I read it and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I remember now. Because as I read it, I can imagine what it was happening at that time.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't. I didn't write any notes. I mostly I spent time with the video and filming, and that was worth it because like every time I watch it, it brings me back into it. It's like it's kind of necessary to, like, I know like memories are one thing, and that like memories are something that I cherish like the most, compared to material objects or whatever, right? Like, or things that happen there that stay engraved in your mind are the most powerful things that you carry with you until the rest of your life. But having a video, it really puts you back into that perceptive state of like being there again. And yeah, I spent time doing that. But I also feel like I should be taking notes sometimes when I dream and I come out of my dream just in a regular night, and some dreams seem so powerful, man, and you're like, I gotta write it down because one day I'm gonna understand what that meant, right? But not because you're gonna understand right away.
Yeah, I always write down things, man. Like every trip that I make, I write it down, because then usually it's like whatever I see or whatever, it comes to reality a few months later. So by the time it becomes real, I can check it out back then and be like, oh, yo, man, this is it. You know? It's like that delay, but yeah. It's just, it's fun.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the power of visualization is one thing, but it's like also keeping an intention and it just happens as long as you really want it to happen, right? So speaking of that video, you were writing for Red Bull at that point, and I think that was the last video project you did with them, right?
Yeah, the Flat Dimension was the last one, and the best one for sure, because it was made how I wanted to be made. So I think it turned out really, like, it was nice. But yeah, man.
And then what happened? I mean, you like it ended, and how did it like end? Like,
yo, man, I was like, I want to use the hat of my boy, you know, signature one. Just like, I'm out now. Yeah, so what happened is I didn't want to compete anymore. I was decided I didn't want to compete. Not really compete. I was just like not willing to invest money in competition. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't want from the cost of traveling and everything.
Yeah, because it was like, at the end of the day, it was my money going for the plane ticket. So it was like numbers were, it was just not a good business, you know? And I was like, yo, I don't want to compete. Like, I didn't felt like it was my thing, you know? I never felt it was my thing. Like, I always competed because I wanted to see the riders and the vibe of the place and being able to travel and everything. But at one point, it was just like messing with my mind, man. Like, I swear, bro, like, I got out of Red Bull because I told them, like, I don't want to compete, and they wanted me to keep competing. It was like, we need you to compete. It was like, no. Yeah, it was just like, okay, well then, nothing we can do about it, because I've always been trying to push Flatland on this. I don't know, man. I look at Flatland as like breakdance, as a setup, as the way of marketing Flatland, as the way of making it look cool, you know? I don't think Flatland looks good next to a big ramp, you know? It's different vibe. It's a different vibe.
Like, we can do our own thing, like, we don't necessarily need to be included.
Flatland it's for like a different scene, man. It's like from the street. I think Flatland is from the streets. It's not from like a closed place like a park. I don't know, man. I look at it more. I can relate much better with like dancers or like, you know, freestyle football. The guys that like the thing with the. Cause I don't know, man. It feels like.
Yeah, it's very street and but it's not quite circus though.
Yeah, I mean it's right in the middle of the definition. So I guess, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. It's like to join like forces with all of these other disciplines to be able to to make one big solid community,
Mm-hmm.
that can make an impact. But it's just hard, man. It's hard to define. It's like you gotta make your own definition of what is this movement. You are not circus, you are not dancers, you are not extreme sport. What are you? It's like it's hard to give it a name.
Even comparing like Flatland to other like for example like cycling, artistic cycling, like it's totally different as well. They have a whole other sphere of movement. I think what we do is not to be based in difficulty, but it was not meant to be easy.
Not at all, man.
It was not meant to be easy. And I think that's where the beauty really comes from, is that if we really want to make it happen, like if you want a trick to come out the way you want it to come out, man, you have to grow and push and grow and push and fall and actually really try for a long time, especially if it's something new.
Yeah, but I like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's not this kind of sport that anybody just like pops out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna ride a little flatland, then that's it. It's like, yo, you wanna ride flatland, man? You gotta commit to flatland.
You have to mean it.
Yeah.
That's why it's really hard to get new kids here and into it.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, I've been looking at flatland just like, I'm doing it and I love it. I will keep doing I'm gonna keep doing flatland, but at the end of the day, at least in Chile, it's like a tool. It's a gate. It's like you use flatland either to communicate something, to express something, to move certain people, or whatever, man. It's like Flatland has opened so many doors in my life, man. So many doors. That is just like, it's endless, man. Like, I travel the world. I meet people from any discipline, man, because it's this new thing, and they're just like, what? The videos, the commercials, whatever, man. Like, you can do whatever you want with Flat, man. It's just there for the one that wants to experience that. And yeah, I don't know, man. I guess Japan has like the mindset to keep Flatland alive.
The discipline?
Yeah, and here it's too hard, man. I tried. We had the school with Carlos and everything. It's just that different mindset.
Yo, I was thinking about this, like the way that in the Western societies, like it seems like teenagers are so inclined to getting getting fucked up, like to drinking and smoking and falling into like just partying and stuff. And I just get the impression that, like, for example, the Japanese, when they're that age, they don't even come close to the amount of bad influence that we have in our societies, you know. So I find that may be one of the reasons why they grow so fast. Obviously the discipline and everything, but I never got the impression of seeing like a 13-year-old gangster looking kid, you know. In Japan, they just seem so modest and interested and curious and not really judgmental, while sometimes I get the impression here in Canada or even Europe that, like, man, these kids are like, they're thugged out, bro. You know, and I find I was kind of like that a little bit too.
Man, just today we arrived in this spot. It was full of kids doing nothing but just doing like this daylight party in an open space, and it was just like fighting, man, and then like this girl grabbing the other girl's hair and just like, and it was like, bro, what the fuck are these kids doing here? Like, what are they doing here? And they were just like out there showing off like their outfits or whatever, and it was like you got it all wrong, man. Like, why are you doing something, man? It's like, it's weird, man. It's super weird. The way of like, and I don't know, man. It's different. I didn't grow up with like this. I didn't grow up with Instagram or whatever. So I guess that makes an impact on like new generations, man.
Yeah, man, my bad about that. Hey, sorry, bro.
Yo, you made my Instagram, bro. You made it, man. I remember in China, I arrived and I'm like, I don't want Instagram, and you were like, you already have one. Here you go.
That's not true, man. That's not true. I thought I was on the bandwagon trip, man.
Oh my god, man.
Man, and the bandwagon trip is like, bro, there's so many things, bro. I don't think I'm gonna even get into it right now because it's like.
Yeah, no. Watch the video, man. Watch the movie.
Yeah, I think I'll put in the description. I'll put your video link for the DMT video, and the bandwagon, and probably Iggy Amazonas as well. Yeah.
Show.
Yo, but like now that everything is kind of like digitized and like online, and like people cannot even gather and see each other and see other people, like within this context, what do you think, like you probably gave it some thought because we spend time on our bikes, like what do you think the future of Flatland is if it keeps going in this narrow ass COVID era, like of like staying at home and stuff?
Well, for Flatland I guess there's an opportunity for kids to start doing Flatland actually, because you just need a flat spot and a bike. So it might be good, like street ride. I see a lot of street riders like doing more Flatland tricks because of this.
Because the parks are closed, or what?
Yeah, because the parks are closed and everything. But I don't know, man. I don't really know how things are gonna turn out. Like, I got my home spot and I'm blessed with that. Because if it wasn't for that, man, I'll be just like on depression.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be down, and really, like nobody can tell, man. Like I don't know when it's gonna stop or keep going, but at the end of the day, it's like you cherish more the moments in the street with people. You know, it's like I just went out today with some street rider friends. And G-Lab, we made a video and everything, and it was just like, man, this makes me happy, and this is what I want, you know?
It's like having your time like cut with a curfew makes you calculate your time a lot more, right? Like what am I gonna do with this available time that I have every day?
I mean, I still go out, like you can still, in here you can still go out with curfew or whatever, like I still do it.
Like past what? What is it, like 9:30?
Yeah, 9 o'clock, like you can still pass and whatever. It's like, nah, if they catch you, like it could be a problem, but like you can still do it. It's just that you're not, it's not the same, man. It's not the same. It's like riding your spot knowing that the security guard can kick you out at any time. It's like you don't ride.
You don't get a fine if you're out after curfew?
Yeah, you get a big one.
What's the fine?
I think it's like $4,000.
$4,000.
Yo, that's like 4 times the minimum wage here, 5 times or something. It's just
you left your house for $4,000.
Man,
us is 1,500, but 4,000. I mean, it's all these numbers that come from nowhere, bro. Like, who decides the amount? Like,
yeah.
It has to be scary, that's for sure.
Oh man. Yo, you got the Insta questions, man?
Oh, I had one, I think. Yeah, I had one from Barre, bro.
Barrecito.
Yeah, man. Barrecito.
Yo, Barre got a 6 spot now, man.
Yeah, man. Let's see. How do you even go? Yeah, man, there's 2 questions for you. Where was your best feeling on the bike in a contest run? It's a contest question. I guess he means like where did you feel the best in your contest run?
Wow. I would say Canada. Real City Spin
Yo.
2016.
Real shitty spin.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. I rode really good.
You rode perfect.
Yeah, I did like my first perfect run with like good tricks and everything. Yeah, I was feeling good on that contest.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey.
Yeah.
He even asked another question. He said, what did you learn because of BMX Flatland that you will take with you as a life lesson?
My gosh, man. I think, man, to be honest, man, like everything that I've learned from having 14 years on, it was because of Flatland. It's just everything, man. I don't know. I can't recall something that is not related to my bike.
Yeah.
Like really, like everything, man. Everything. Even I don't know. Even relationships. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. It's connected to my bike. So I guess, yeah, everything.
Do you think that the hybridization of like Flatland and street is gonna keep going? Where do you see
Yeah.
Flatland going? Where do you see yourself going with that?
Well, every day I'm trying to do more street, but it's not really like. I mean, if you do a bar spin, like a bunny hop bar spin from the floor, is that straight or is that flat?
Well, if you lift the ground, if you get off the ground, that's air, right? That's
Yeah,
park. That's park.
But it's
I don't know.
still in the flat floor, you know? So it's that kind of trick that I'm trying to do, but I guess it's good, man. I guess that's where Flatland is going to. It's like Flatland and street are meeting in this medium point, because every day, man, more street riders are doing Flatland tricks. Even if they want to still call it like street, it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
but it's Flatland, bro.
So you mean they're like joining and they're taking a direction together right now?
I think every time it's gonna mix like even more. So I'm pretty sure like right now we're gonna go on like it's gonna be like at one point we're gonna be doing like the same kind of thing.
If you're not touching like a rail or a ledge or something.
There's still gonna be like hardcore street riders and like pure Flatland riders, but I guess like the mass, like the big mass of BMX is going into like this middle place.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it will all become freestyle again.
I think that's what we're going to. If you see riders, man, like Kevin Peraza, you know that guy?
Mm-hmm. Good
Man,
guy.
he's super sick, and he can do everything, man. Like he can do everything.
Yeah, so I see it also like it's gonna keep on going that like landing on the pedals, pop, like the way that you do a lot. You're kind
Man.
of like that signature pop.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice, man. I like it because I see like a lot of Japanese kids asking me about like how to do some tricks like that, and I see that they're landing on the pedals like that, and it's like, man, it makes me feel so happy. Like I kind of feel that there's something that I could live, like that I just left. You know, it's like, okay,
Mhm.
man, because I never felt like this big rider in the world. You know, it was like I was there on the contest and everything, but never like this kind of like big world champion or whatever. But I think it's nice, man. I like when I see that kind of thing because I like how Flatland looks like that, like starting and finishing on the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see little Japanese kids doing it, I'm like, yo, if they're doing it, then maybe in the future, like it's gonna become like normal. You know, it's gonna be like standard, like steamroller, whatever.
Like you can't like finish on the pegs, then you still need a bar spin, and then you still need to scuff basic trick and then land.
Yeah,
Right,
like,
stuff like that. Just to like start clean and finish clean. Yeah, I like that.
But I'm looking at it because in the future I can imagine like some kids going from like, let's say, a bowl or whatever, and you have the entry from the pedals, so you can start Flatland, whatever, and then back to the pedals into like whatever.
Mm-hmm. Park flat.
I wouldn't do it, or I don't know if I could do it, but I think that looks nice. So yeah, I would leave it that to the next Japanese generation.
Mm.
If you're watching.
You have to say it in Japanese, bro. But hey, didn't you have like a movie coming out?
Nah, man, I can't talk about that, but it's there. It's there, man. It's complicated because it was going to the movie theater,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're closed and everything. So I already watched the movie, like it's done. It's
I
been
saw
done
you. I
for-
saw you had a premiere. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's been done for like long time already, but yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just, it's not just Flatland. We mixed park, street, trial.
Mhm.
You know those guys. That
Yeah, trials.
trials and downhill. Yeah, and they're all friends of mine, and man, I'm really hoping with this movie, like, we can join everyone together and just like, I feel like it's this crew that can make it, and we can all go, like, we can all blow up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
go
Yeah,
make
that-
like great things.
All different sports together. Yeah.
Mm.
I hope
Diego
so,
is
man.
there.
I wish you the best of
Remember?
that, Diego. Yeah. Galdames.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Everybody should look forward to that, I'm sure. I remember seeing a clip or two, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, on the low.
Man, I gotta say, like, I miss those winters in Chile, man. Those were some of the best times that I ever had. Those were great.
Oh, the Canadian winters on Chile.
Yeah, my winters, but down
you're-
there. Yeah, man. Well, man, I think we wrapped it up, man. We touched a bit of everything, bro. That was cool, man. Like, I mean, we'll probably hit up some other stuff at some other time. A couple years, maybe. I don't know what. But, yeah, I'm stoked that you took the time, man, and spend time for Flat System.
Plato Sistema. Yeah, man. Yo, man, like, you can't imagine how much I want to try your home spot, bro.
Well, you're welcome here anytime if you want to do this crazy quarantine traveling style. I'll put you can live in the shed for like 14 days if you want.
Yo, I'm corona free, man. So good.
Yeah,
Okay.
until you take the plane and then you touch stuff and then they think that this and that. It's crazy.
This and that.
This and that.
Yo, man.
But yeah, man. Yo, thanks for your time, bro, and we'll be in touch.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
I'll let you know when this comes up.
Yes, sir.
So yo,